Hello everybody, in this video I will share with you an amazing build which basically started as I first did my Sorcerer first playthrough from the beginning and finished the game before with Melee and Faith. Then I do a second one with Sorcerer, Intelligence and Dexterity, and basically that's what I use. The reason you don't see armor because I wanted to be mid in one of the boss fights that I'm doing in co-op and helping others. I'm just staying with the helmet which actually have a buff. But of course, you can drop things, or if you progress further, increase your endurance, you'll be able to carry more. Most of the time, I just drop this one and have an armor. But right now, when doing some of the bosses, tough bosses, I'm actually helping others in co-op and having this one. So, first of all, quick through what we actually use. We have this sword, which I actually just put the Seppuku Ashes of War. And the reason for that is because I want to enjoy the buff that I get when using the Lowe's buff Exhalation will give me plus 20 attack power while this one is active. The Commander Standard Eve ability called Welling Standard will give me plus 20 attack power also for my spells and plus 20 all damage negation. Alright, so just buff. I'm going to show you how I actually execute them very quickly before I actually engage in a fight, especially boss fights. Wing of Astel is absolutely a destroyer. It makes a run through in Elden Ring so easy. It takes down bosses, even the toughest one, so fast with the ability called Nebula. It's insane. Moonveil, of course, I use it because also, by the way, there's a synergy which I can use here. But the reason I use it is because it's a terrific weapon. It has an amazing skill that translates Moonlight. And overall very powerful, and of course it scales with intelligence as well. All right, next one, I'm using two stuff. This one, by the way, consume much more FP, I think 50% more, but for extra damage. The reason I use it only when I activate the Flash of Wondrous Physique, which has eliminates all FP consumption. As you can see, I also have temporarily boost magic attacks as well. Otherwise, I'm using the Korean Regal Scepter, which is one of the best, and as you can see, scale S with intelligence, but also with strength and dexterity. Azure Glintstone Crown. The reason I use the Azure Glintstone Crown is because it gives me 50% attack power for spells. Costs 50 more FP to cast, still extra damage. Radagon Sorcerer is just absolutely buffs so many attributes. I'm just keep it on. It's absolutely amazing. Loads of Blood Exhalution. So this one I thought about maybe I shouldn't, but eventually it would turn out to be really good. Again, because I'm using the Seppuku, so I get extra damage. I'm going to show this one in a moment. It's give you 20% attack power for 20 seconds. 20%. This is huge. All right. This Graven Mass Talisman give you 8% attack power. There's also a lower version of it called Raven Skull Talisman, which give you 4%. This one, Shadow of Alexander, greatly boosts attack power of skills, and of course the most important one for me are the Nebula and the one for the Katana, the Transcendent Moonlight, which is insane. I'm going to show this in a moment. So basically that's what I use mainly, but of course this is already IM, so actually when I wish towards the end of the game, I got more of the items, of course. So basically when I start playing, I mostly was using the Katana, the Moonveil, Wing of Astel when I got it, and of course lower end stuff. And as I progress, of course, I got more good stuff to actually complement the build that I'm actually using right now. Now let's see some gameplay. And just so you know, I prefer this one over the Crown over the White Mask, because White Mask gives 10% for 20 seconds once blood loss has been inflicted. With the Glintstone Crown, I get 50% all the time. Now, as you can see here, this is, by the way, this is non-New Game Plus. This is me, 140, level 140, playing co-op, and of course the boss is much more beefier, and we're just shredding him. Absolutely shredding him. This is the skill of the Moonveil Katana. It's absolutely insane, one of the best in the game. It allows me to just rush through crumbling Pharaoh Mazula without even getting hit most of the time. I have great mid-range control. I can punish quickly after an attack, followed by another attack right after. And of course, I have the talisman which is Shard of Alexander, which give me extra damage buff as well. So this is a build that I have lots of confidence with. I try to avoid getting very close to some enemies, and this allows me to really get good control. Sometimes I go close, but most of the time I want to make sure that if I get close, it's mostly for a finisher. And I'm very safe with this build. Now, though of course weapons with arc can be better overall for blood loss, but the thing is that this is not about an arc build. This is supposed to complement my intelligence build. But eventually, what you can do is, of course, when you progress, get more points into other attributes, you can choose whatever you like. That being said, I really love the ability of this katana, and probably the skill. I won't replace it probably for anything else. Now I want to go quickly over the spells that I'm using. This one, Gliss of Pebble, is amazing. You started pretty early, I think, or one of the characters probably at the beginning. Great for single targets, get even better, of course, as you progress and level up. Term Magica is insane, You're going to see me soon, I'm using it a lot. Basically, it stacks also with Magic Shrouding Crack tier in my flask, because there are two separate buffs. But it gives you 35% extra spell attack damage. 35%, and it lasts for 30 seconds. It's insane. Alright, next one is a Shard Spiral. This is amazing for single targets, but also when you have several targets kind of line up. But again, it just shreds, absolutely shreds, insta-stagger enemies, so they won't move closer to you so fast. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant spell. Comet Azure is the best spell here. This just shreds everything. I'm going to show you soon. You won't believe how fast it shreds. This one is insane. Of course, you're going to get it later on because, again, you need, of course, lots of FP. And, of course, the requirement for this is pretty high. As you can see, intelligence required 60. This is great for when you are facing multiple targets and they kind of a spread in front of you. This is the one to use. Crazy. Arena's Full Moon, by the way, what you see here, by the way, is Axe, because I kind of changed the build a bit, but I'm not using it right now. Basically, depends. I usually switch depending on the situation, but overall, these are the main ones that I use right now in my build. Oh, let's check out some more gameplay. As you can see, I have range, I have mid, and I have strong close. I have everything to actually control the fight. Just a bit of practice. As you can see, the range of the katana skill is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Of course, you need to practice a bit to get used to it. This is the Comet Azure. It shreds. It's absolutely shredding. If there's kind of big enemy, you don't want to mess with him up close. Just take it out. Make sure you do it from a distance so they won't close on you fast. And you'll shred almost everything, even the toughest bosses. I never felt confident. In one day I just finished like all the toughest enemies one after the other and everything because it was so easy with this build. The katana skill is insane for mid. If you're kind of a mid-range, it's insane. And if you're very close, by the way, we can actually do the last hit after, which is very good as well. Just crazy. If you want confident, you want to deal with many situations, many type of enemies, this build gives you everything. Usually what they do in range, try to reduce the health a bit. This is the skill Nebula. It can take down bosses easily on their knees. It's insane. I also use it if there are some enemies that rush at me fast. This is the one that I told you. The Glintstone Arc. Several enemies. One hit. Just beautiful. So everything has a purpose. This is, by the way, Lord of the Blood Exhalation. This is a test. You get plus 20 attack power. I'm going to show you now demonstration so you can see how it works. So basically you can see it with and without. Right, so you can see the damage. 653. I'm just going to repeat it so you can see it. Just check so it will be consistent against one enemy. But of course the damage scale, the percentage, right? I'm just checking it out here against a small enemy. But it's much more meaningful against tougher enemies. Now I find two buffs, two separate ones. As I told you, Seppuku and the Rallying Standard, right? Both of them stack, by the way, so they won't interfere with each other. And you get both the extra damage and extra defense. So basically what I need to do after I'm applying it, you can apply it, by the way, with having the two. We just need to switch. So I'm using this one. Then I use triangle and then L2 to switch to the commander standard, and then L2 again to apply it. So if I do space one after the other, I get both. Of course, it's not for just running through a level. This is used for bosses. But I'm going to show you that they both stack and I get the extra using it. Alright, I'm going to show you again. Lot of Blood, Exelution, plus 20 attack power, Rallying Standard, plus 20 attack power, plus 20 all damage negation. It's insane. Then of course you're going to see the result for higher damage. But again, I only use it for bosses. As you can see, I'm going to try it again so you can see that it's consistent. Alright, cool. Alright, let me show you now in action. This is against the last boss. So now I execute everything. Of course, not every time in co-op you're gonna... People, you know, sometimes you messed up with things. But it took me some time to get used to doing everything. The buffs. And if they delay, the buff will be over. So it's important to do it fast, by the way, to take good use of it. But even then, the idea is to try to make the most of it, to eliminate bosses super fast. At least get tons of chunk of damage from them, so others can actually follow up and eliminate them. And again, this is not New Game Plus. This is just me doing it after, you know, before I actually finished the game, but I haven't started New Game Plus. So again, I'm not consuming FP, as you can see when I use this stuff. Look at this. See, I'm just shredding so much HP from Radagon. So if you are coming, a few of you are spellcaster, you can understand how silly it is. Look at this, look at this. Like 60% off, like instantly. It's insane, absolutely insane. You see? It's crazy. Again. This is another fight. When all the buffs come together, everything. And Radagon, by the way, in co-op is much more tanky, of course. All the bosses are much more tanky. If you play alone, you're gonna shred them in like... and they're gone. So again, this is right now the build that I'm using. Everything has a purpose. I want to control the battlefield no matter which enemy it is. And this allows me to do it. It's crazy, it's super fun, so much utility, but of course if I decide to use Commander Star and carrying, I need more endurance, and I'm not going to put something just to, you know, to increase the maximum equip load. But again, as I progress in New Game Plus, which I haven't started just yet with this character, of course I'm going to do it. Until then, I'm probably going to drop probably one of them and just focus on you know, having the armor, and that's it. But overall, you can see that it works amazingly well, super powerful. So if you are searching for a strong sorcerer build, focus on intelligence and dexterity, especially end game, right? But again, this carried me, of course, from the beginning with the Moonveil and then Ring of Astel, and of course I used other armor, carried me throughout the game with ease for everything. But again, this is becoming even more and more powerful the closer you move to the end game, and it shreds. By the way, Black Knife Tage is insane. He has when he deals blood damage, he just shreds. Even if you can give him buff and incantation, he can actually eliminate bosses on its own. I'm telling you, he's so strong. And the reason he survives a lot, because he evades attacks. This is why he can survive a lot of time against bosses. So crazy. So this is why I upgraded to plus 10, and it's just so much fun to watch as well. So this is my build for now. If I have updates, I'm going to share with you on my channel. I hope you enjoyed this one. Consider leaving a like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers.